Hey beautiful friends, welcome back to another Vinyasa practice. I really do mean it when I say it's great to be back with you, because even though I can't see you on the other side of the screen, I can feel you through all the comments and messages that you guys have been sending me. It's great to know that there's a human on the other side of this camera. Anyway, this Vinyasa practice is going to be very opening for our energy channels, and the purpose of that is for letting prana move through our bodies, our physical body and our subtle body with more ease. And we'll be doing that with the use of pranayama, meaning the expansion and control of our breath at the beginning of our practice. And then in our asana practice, our movement practice, we're going to be working into a couple of backbends, in particular Urdhva Dhanurasana, which is our upward facing bow or our wheel pose, as well as Natarajasana, our dancer's pose. So yeah, I think it's going to be a great class. And before we get into anything, on July the 1st, Current Movement will be launching a Patreon account. And this is such a great way, if you wanted to support me along the journey of producing this free content for YouTube. It means a lot, and you will also be able to access some exclusive content if you become a subscriber, or if you just wanted to do a one-off payment. So that will be launching July the 1st. Yeah, and more details to come. We're going to get started in a seat, so feel free to find yourself in a seat that feels comfortable for you. If you have a block, you may want to bring that into your practice. If you've got 2 blocks available, maybe just pop that to one side. You may want to use that in our asana practice. I just feel like practicing with no block today. Let's find a tall spine here. Press the sit bones down into the ground. Feel the crown of the head lift up. Maybe start to close down the eyes. And just starting to take a couple of breaths in and out through the nose. Letting any tension in the face or in the shoulders or anywhere else in the body just kind of slide away. Imagine like you're just having a shower and all of it just washes off with the water. And the pranayama practice that we're going to try today is our Nadi shodana. And some of you may have done this before. It is our alternative nostril breathing. Our nadis are energy channels that run in our energetic body, and this is where prana flows in and out. And sometimes prana gets stuck in these channels, and that can result in us feeling a certain way in our physical body, for example. And the purpose of our Nadi shodana is to get the prana moving again, as well as evening them out a little bit more. So what you're going to do, if you haven't done this before, just open your eyes. We're going to bring our 2nd and 3rd finger in while releasing the thumb and the 4th finger. The thumb is going to block the right nostril. The 4th finger is going to block the left nostril. Okay, so we're going to block one, breathe in, hold, breathe out of one, and then opposite. The breath count ratio we're going to try today is breathing in for 4, holding at the top for 16. I said that right, 16. Exhaling for 4, and then repeating that. Wow, that 16 is going to feel a little bit uncomfortable. What you can kind of imagine this is the buildup of water at a dam. And then once you exhale, it's like the floodgates have been released and all that energy surges out. So it's the buildup of energy, and then you let it go. At any point, if 16 is a little bit too far up and you feel really anxious or uncomfortable, please feel free to let this go and just do this in your own time. I'll cue you in for the first round on both sides, and then you continue in your own time. Let's all take a big breath in through the nose, fill up the diaphragm, the ribs, the chest. Exhale through the nose. Let's block the right nostril. Breathe in for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Exhale through right. 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale right. 4, 3, 2, 1. Block both nostrils. 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale through left. 4, 3, 2, 1. Either 1 or 2 more full cycles on each side will all meet exhaling through the left, whether you do 1 cycle or 2 cycles. And just a reminder, in that kumbhaka, in that hold, it's really important that we don't tense our shoulders or our lungs or our jaw. Try soften here. Otherwise you're going to come out a little bit easier, quicker. I also like to imagine looking at my nose or my third eye in that hold. And that gives me a sense of focus, of drishti. Once you've completed your round or 2 on the left, you can release the hand and just return to neutral breath. Keep trying to breathe deep into the diaphragm, into the ribs, the chest. Maybe you can feel that flow of energy moving up and down a little bit easier. Let's take about 2 more deep breaths to really ground ourselves here in this practice. Amazing. When you're ready, just crack open the eyelids. We're going to find ourselves in a puppy pose. Find yourself in a tabletop first. So knees come underneath the hips, hands under the shoulders, and then take a big step forward with both hands. Big breath in through the nose. As you exhale, can you dive your heart space towards the ground? Draw the shoulder blades apart slightly. And if it feels good, if you can get your chest down towards the ground, if you have space, you might even lift your eye gaze towards the top of the mat. Can you imagine the tailbone trying to lift up towards the sky? Imagine the armpits trying to draw down towards the ground. Let's try about 2 to 3 more breaths here. This is such a great way to open through the shoulders, through the spine. It's not very often that we find ourselves in these positions during the day with a big overhead extension. And then when you're ready, just walk the hands back towards tabletop. We're going to find our cat to counter pose that. Big breath in. As we exhale, can you press away from the ground, draw the belly button towards the spine. We're going to stay here for a couple of breaths. If you felt comfortable to do so, you could flip one hand towards your knees and maybe other hand towards the knees. That's just going to open through the forearms a little bit more. One more breath here. Can you lift up a little bit higher out of your shoulders? And then come back through center. Quick twist here, big breath in, sweep the right hand high. As you exhale, can you through the right hand through towards the left side, drop the right shoulder down. See if you can press through the left hand to draw the left shoulder back. So ideally we're aiming to stack the left shoulder on top of the right. One more breath here. Inhale, sweep the right hand high again. Exhale, right hand comes down. Let's try that the other side. Inhale, left. Exhale to twist. Again, trying to press through the right hand to draw the right shoulder back. Left shoulder comes underneath. Another option here that I like to try sometimes is place the right hand on top of the left palm and press the left palm away while also trying to draw the left shoulder back. One more breath. I feel that just opens through my shoulder a little bit more. When you're ready, place the right hand down, breathe in, sweep the left hand high. Exhale, left hand comes down. Take a step forward with both hands, spread the fingertips wide, tuck onto the toes, lift the hips up and back. Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. So the hands are about shoulder width distance. I like to have them a little bit wider, but up to you. Just try not to have them too narrow. Soften the knees here, feet are about hip width distance. Maybe you pedal your feet out, opening through the calves, the back of the knee, the hamstring as well as the spine, the shoulders. Ooh, so many things to open. One more breath here. Let's make our way to the top of the mat. Maybe you bring your feet hip width distance. If you feel ready for it, you can bring your big toes together, heels slightly apart. If you feel like that lengthens the hamstrings a little bit more. Let's find our Uttanasana, our forward fold. Spread the toes wide on the mat. Soften the shoulders back. Maybe a little bounce up and down feels good. Let's bring the hands to the shins. Inhale, lift yourself halfway, shoulders in line with the hips, ribs draw in. Exhale, fold yourself forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, roll yourself up to standing. As you do, can you sweep your arms wide, lift your arms up and over the head, Urdhva Dhanurasana. Exhale, hands by the sides, Tadasana. We'll flow through one round of Surya namaskar A and then add on to it as we go. Inhale, sweep the hands high, Urdhva Dhanurasana. Exhale, tip from the hips, Uttanasana. Inhale, lift yourself halfway, shoulders down. Exhale, hands down. Let's all sit back into our plank position first round. Inhale, maybe you shift the weight forward a little bit more, hug the ribs in. Exhale, Chaturanga, tuck the elbows in, come down onto your belly. Inhale, baby Bhujangasana, press through the hands, shoulders back. Exhale, press up onto the knees, tuck the toes. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Let's try about 3 breaths here. And can we make these breaths expansive? So just like our pranayama practice, can you breathe deep into the diaphragm as much as we can throughout our practice today? That's where we get the best quality of breath, of depth. Use your next breath in either to walk up to the top of the mat, or you can bend your legs, look forward, take a little hop in between the hands. Exhale, fold yourself forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, sweep the arms up and over the head, squeeze the glutes. Exhale, hands by the side, Tadasana. Hands face forward, shoulders back. We add on. Inhale, sweep the arms. Exhale, bend your knees, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, your way back into your vinyasa. You could jump back, you could walk back. Option this time to come to Urdhva Dhanurasana on your breath in. And then exhale, Ardha Dhanurasana, downward facing dog. Hold here for 3 breaths. Imagine like the back of the thighs, we're trying to press towards the back of the mat. And if you're super mobile and you're able to pull your chest towards your thighs, see if you can lift yourself up a little bit more. So you're pressing through the palms. On your next breath in, let's sweep the right toes high, 3-legged dog. As you exhale, can you bend the knee, bring the foot close towards the glutes, soften the left knee, try peel the right knee a little bit higher. Big breath in. As you exhale, roll yourself forward into your plank position, but keep the right knee bent. Hug the right knee next to the left knee. Flex the right foot. Can you pull the right foot a little bit closer towards the glutes? We stay here for 1 more breath. You can always drop to the left knee here. Breathe in. Exhale, lower onto the belly. Tuck the elbows in, but keep the right foot lifted. Inhale, baby bhujangasana. Press with the hands. Imagine like you're pressing the right foot towards the head. Exhale, hold. Inhale, stay lifted. Exhale, lower back down. We come back into our downward facing dog your way. Or if you want to challenge, tuck onto left toes. Lift the left knee off. Draw the belly button away from the ground. Press up into your 3-legged plank. Bring the right foot down. Send the right foot back as well. Downward facing dog. Big breath in through the nose. Maybe a big breath out through the mouth. Use your next breath in to make your way to the top of the mat. Exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold yourself forward. Inhale, sweep the arms. Maybe baby back bend here. Exhale, Tadasana, hands by the sides. Let's try that the other side. Inhale to lift. Feel the energy lift as well, and then exhale to fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands down, step jump back through, chaturanga up to you. Shoulders land in line with the elbows. Finding your breath on your way back into your Ardha Dhanurasana. Couple of breaths here. On your next breath in, can you sweep the left toes high, 3-legged dog? Exhale, bend the left knee, bring the left foot close towards the glutes. Now, can you draw the left shoulder down here? Ribs draw in slightly. Use your next breath in to hold. Exhale, roll yourself forward into your plank position. Again, hug the left knee in here. Flex the left toes. Pull the left heel towards the glutes. So we're engaging down the back of the body. 1 more breath. Keep lifting the hips up so we're not dropping them down. Inhale, shift the weight forward slightly. Exhale, chaturanga, come down towards the ground. Try not to lower too quickly. Untuck the right toes. Inhale, baby bhujangasana. Kick the left heel forward. Exhale to hold. Keep the shoulders engaged. Inhale. Exhale. Again, your way back into a downward facing dog. You can be with me if you want. Tuck right toes, lift the right knee off. Strong core brace as you press yourself up into your high plank. Left toes touch down. And then you send yourself up and back. Ardha Dhanurasana, downward facing dog. We're going to stay here for another 2 or so breaths, and then we're going to head into our main sequence today. Just one main sequence. You're all kind of like that, right? Use your next breath in. Sweep the right toes high, three-legged dog. Exhale, bend the right knee, bring the foot close towards the glutes. Now you can stay here and feel really strong in this position. If you want to try a little bit of balance, see if you can come to your right fingertips. Maybe you stay here. Maybe you start to drop the left heel towards the left side of the mat. Notice how that starts to open the right hip up. Keep the right hip opening. You can stay with the right fingertips on the ground. Maybe you hover the right hand off. Maybe you start to lift it towards the front of your mat or towards the sky. Maybe opening the shoulder a little bit as well. Try one more breath here. Ooh, maybe you find yourself in a wild thing. Oh my goodness. When you're ready, take a big step forward with the right foot. Lots of control. Left heel comes down. Virabhadrasana 1 stance, and then start to lift yourself up, but we're on a lean. Draw the left hip down slightly, right hip pulls back. Now hands can stay behind you, or if you want, you could try lift the arms up, reaching off the mat. You could keep the hands apart. You could try clasp them together and press the index finger out. So really strengthening through the upper back. Keep pressing through the right foot. We're going to hold here for one more breath. I've been loving these long holds a lot recently. You're going to see them in the next couple of videos. Big breath in, start to open yourself back, Virabhadrasana 1. Exhale, open Virabhadrasana 2. You might need to wiggle your feet so that the front heel is in line with the middle of the back foot. One more breath here. Can you sink yourself a little bit deeper on your exhale? Start to flip the right hand. Big breath in. Exhale, Viparita Virabhadrasana. Reverse your warrior. Big breath in. As you exhale, can you start to sweep the right hand on the ground? Turn back towards your front foot. Left hand plants down. Left knee comes down. Start to lift your right hand high. Big breath in. As you exhale, can you start to draw the right toes back? This is your Parivrita Adha Hanumanasana. Now you can always bring your left hand to a block if you have one. That's going to give you a little bit more space. Try not to lock the right knee out here. One more breath. Exhale, can you twist a little bit more? Both hands come towards the ground, full fold of your Adha Hanumanasana. One more breath. Little bit of a moment of stillness, a moment of groundedness before we get a little bit playful. If you've got your 2 blocks nearby, you may want to bring them. Absolutely no worries if not. If you don't have blocks today, just come onto your fingertips. If you do have blocks, find a height that works for you. What we're going to do is going to press into the ground, round through the upper back as much as we can. We'll lift our front foot off, okay? When you're ready, big breath in. As we exhale, start to lift. Hold for 5, 4, 3, press away, 2, 1. Right foot comes down, shift the weight forward. Kneeling lunge. Oh my goodness. Believe it or not, we are going to try that again. I'm really sorry. I'm really not sorry because these are the things that have made me feel stronger and like pistol squats and all that kind of stuff. It feels so yuck in the moment, but it's so good. Shift your hips back. We're going to try that one more time on this leg, I promise. Big breath in, press away, round through the upper back. Exhale, start to lift the front foot. It's okay if you only lift it off for half a second or 1 second. The most important thing is that you try. Final 2. Final 1. Nice, right foot comes down, shift the hips forward. You'll see why we're doing this once we get to our Urdhva Dhanurasana. Okay, take the blocks to the side, tuck onto the left toes. We're going to shift our hips back. Sit on the heel and then keep traveling yourself back until we get into a pistol squat situation. Now you can have the left heel lifted here. You can always have the hands down. If you want to challenge, see if you can lift both the hands as well as the foot. And if you need a bit of support, you can always bring your peace fingers around your right foot as well. One more breath here. With or without the use of the hands, can you slide the right foot into a narrow squat? Again, heels might be lifted here. You can either stay with the hands out, or if you want to challenge, see if you can lift the hands up a bit more. Big breath in. As you exhale, slow press up to stand. Really, really slow, I mean it. Shoulders down. Nice, and then when you get to the top, take a little shake out, little twist from side to side. We're going to have a little bit of practice with our Natarajasana. I've got a couple of different options here if you wanted to try. First option here, one you've probably already done before. Right hand can come around the outside of the ankle or the inside of the ankle, left hand forward, and then you tip forward while trying to keep the knee in and the hip down, opening through the front body. If you wanted something slightly different, if you feel like you're open enough through the shoulders, I'm going to provide something a little bit different. Bring the foot up. You're going to hook your peace fingers around your right big toe, or just somewhere around. Once you do that, see if you can scoop the right elbow underneath as you lift the foot up, and then maybe your left hand comes around to meet your other foot. Elbows tuck in. You might only hold it for a couple of seconds. It's quite a lot of balance with the left foot, but it's a really big opening through the front body. Feeling all that prana start to move, start to open. Let's give it another maybe 5 or so breaths. If you're not quite there yet, you can always use a strap or a pair of leggings or a scarf or something there to help you. Even I'm still trying to get it. It's pretty challenging. One more breath. When you're ready, bring the feet down. Well, maybe close down the eyes for a moment. Big breath in, sweep the hands up and over the head. Exhale, bend the knees, fold yourself forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift, Adho Uttanasana. Exhale, walk the hands out. Optional Vinyasa, or you can head straight back into your Ardha Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. So this Vinyasa class is not particularly fast compared to some of the other flows that we've done together, but it is strong, it is challenging in its own way. Okay, one more time on the other side. Left leg lifts on your in-breath. Exhale, start to bend the left knee, bring the foot close towards the glutes. Again, you can stay here, or you might start to lift the left fingertips. Maybe you stay here. Maybe you start to draw the right foot towards the side. Maybe you stay here, or you might start to open that left hand up to the sky or towards the front. So we're building a lot of strength in our right hand and our shoulders, in our obliques. One more breath. All right, let's all take a big step forward into our warrior one stance. Place the right heel down, start to lift yourself up, but we're on a lean, remember. So that lean is going to bring a bit more tension into the front leg. Either keep the hands behind you, reaching towards your back foot, or take a big breath in, start to sweep the hands around. Exhale, start to reach a little bit more. So you're finding the longest line you can draw from the fingertips all the way back down to that back heel. Option here if you want to find your Kali Mudra with your hands clasped together with the index finger pointing out. 2 more breaths. Draw the shoulders down slightly. Nip the rib cage in slightly. Use your next breath in, start to open through the heart space. Exhale, Virabhadrasana 1. Open yourself to the right side of the mat. In breath, exhale, Virabhadrasana 2. Draw the right toes in slightly. Can you rotate the heart space and the right hip out to the side? Inhale, flip the left hand. Exhale, reverse your warrior. Viparita Virabhadrasana. Keep that left knee pressing towards the front of the mat. Inhale. As you exhale, start to sweep that left hand along the ground. Bring the right hand down on the side of the foot. Right knee comes down, lift the left hand high, big breath in. As you exhale, start to shift the hips back, lift up the left toes. Maybe you come to fingertips here. Maybe you come to a block. Let's try about 2 more breaths here. Again, try to soften that left knee slightly. You can always come a little bit more further forward if you're finding this quite challenging within the legs or the spine. Let's all bring the left hand down. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Tuck the chin in slightly. 1 more breath. Okay, we're going to find this all on the other side. All the fun stuff. It's not something that you forget, really. Again, fingertips or blocks into the ground, round through the upper back, big breath in. As you exhale, draw the belly in and start to lift the left leg. 5, 4, 3, and if you get a cramp, just come out. 2, 1, shift the weight forward. Kneeling lunge. Try press the back foot into the ground. Lift up tall through the spine, big breath in. And then exhale, come back. I'm going to try that 1 more time. Again, come to fingertips if you want, or blocks. Square off the hips, right hip forward, left hip back. Big breath in. You've got this. Exhale, lift the foot. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Well done. Left foot comes down. Shift the hips forward. If you do get cramp, generally it's your body not being used to being in that position before. So it takes a couple of goes. And then sometimes the cramp might reside a little bit. When you're ready, start to shift the hips back. Tuck onto the right toes. Send the hips back, finding your pistol squat. Again, your heel might not be on the ground. If you want, you can take your peace finger around your left big toe to lift the left foot up. Hold here for about 2 more breaths. Getting really comfortable with this position, because I know that a lot of you are working on your pistol squats, and it's really good to just be in these positions as much as we can. When you're ready, start to lift the hips slightly, press through the right heel, slide the left leg in, narrow squat. Knees come out slightly. You can stay with the hands forward. You can round through the back as much as you can to get stability. If you wanted a challenge, see if you can lift the hands up slightly. Big breath in. Exhale, press through the heels, start to lift yourself. Find that neutral spine as we go. And then when you're ready, come up. Whew. Natarajasana time. When you're ready, your variation of choice. I would recommend trying to replicate what you did on the other side on this side. But of course, everybody is going to be different. Every side is going to be different. So just adjust, listen. And as much as we can, we try to keep the hips square. And that's going to encourage the lengthening through the hip flexors, the quadriceps. If you're somewhere halfway in between the King Natarajasana, the Lord of the Dancer, that's what it translates to. You could always try hook the left elbow underneath, but if the right hand doesn't touch, like it doesn't for me on this side, just bring the right arm up and over and energetically try to connect. Let's try 1 more breath. When you're ready, bring the left foot down. Let the body settle in a neutral position. Taking a couple of deep breaths in and out through the nose. Noticing any changes in energy. And sometimes you can observe that with the breath. If you can breathe a little bit deeper, if the breath is has more flow and rhythm to it. Maybe you just feel it as energy shooting up and down, the physical body, maybe in the subtle body, the bodies that we don't see, so the mind, the heart, the spirit. And when you're ready, we're just going to find a way into a Uttanasana, just to counter what we had just done. Inhale, let's lift ourselves halfway. Exhale, fold. So to walk yourself out, optional vinyasa, or send it straight back into your downward facing dog. I'm not going to stay here for too long. Bring the knees down towards the ground. Cross over the feet. We're going to make our way straight onto our back. Lay yourself down when you're ready. And we're going to head into our peak pose. Okay, you might want to watch me for the moment because we've got two sides and we're only going to do each side once. So you might want to make up your mind of what we do before we head into that. The first being our Setu Bandhasana, our bridge pose. You might do this by just taking the feet close towards the hips, lifting the hips up high. You might hold here. You might transition the weight into one leg and then lift the other leg up. We're going to hold in these positions for about 5 to 8 breaths each side with a rest in between. You want to think about that right knee or the knee on the ground not splaying out too much. Once you've done one side, rest at the bottom, and you can do the other side afterwards. If you wanted to try your Urdhva Dhanurasana with the same leg variation, which is completely optional by the way, you can bring the hands by the shoulders, tuck the elbows in slightly, heels by the hips. Start by lifting the hips off first, squeeze the glutes, big breath in, and then as you exhale, you press through the hands, and you start to lift the upper body off the ground. As you do, the knees might start to come out. Can you zip them towards each other? Press through the heels, press through the hands, and you might want to try transitioning the weight forward, maybe back, seeing what works for you. Maybe you stay here, maybe you try that 1 foot lift again. So stacking the knee over the hip and then extending up. Trying to hold each asana for about, again, 5 to 8 breaths. When you're ready, get into it. Don't let me stop you. You can, of course, hold for less. You can hold for more. So cues to remember, hug the knees in, press through the heels, spread the toes wide, squeeze the glutes. Try to feel that lift up through the spine. Of course, if the leg lift doesn't work for you today, if it's not something that you want to practice, that's absolutely okay. You can just hang out in your Setu Bandhasana or your Urdhva Dhanurasana as much as you want. Just know that the mat is there for you whenever you need. If you're not already, maybe you try the second side now. And I'll meet you down on the mat when you're ready to come down. reminding ourselves that these back bends are designed to kind of tap into our sympathetic nervous system, so more of our fight and flight. I think a lot of yoga teachers can talk about yoga being really great for the parasympathetic nervous system, which is our rest and digest, but it's really important that we find chances to activate the sympathetic nervous system as well, because we don't ever want to be in just one. We need to find that balance between the sympathetic and the parasympathetic nervous system. And back bends, they kind of activate that energy lift. You might be able to feel energy just naturally moving in and out of the body here. Let's all meet down on the mat. Maybe you bend the knees, bring the feet close towards the hips, just to give the lower back a little bit of room to move a little bit. Often if we can extend our legs out, that might arch through the lower back a bit more. Especially after a back bend, that might bring a bit more tension to it. We're just going to finish with a really short cool down sequence. If you do feel ready, maybe you extend the left leg out towards the ground. Just take the hands around the right ankle, so pulling the right knee up towards you, right foot towards you. Now you might just stay down with the right elbow pressing into the inside of maybe the calf, or if you wanted a little bit more, you could try lift up the head so that the toes are pointing towards the nose. Maybe if it reaches, it can reach up towards the forehead. If you've got space, then it might head up towards the crown of the head. And just stay here for a couple of breaths. Deep hip opener here. When you're ready, just start to lower the back down. Keep the knee bent, but take the left hand over the right thigh. Big breath in. Exhale, can you draw the right knee over towards the left? Right hand extends towards the side. Right shoulder comes down. And then when you're ready, just come back through center. I'm going to try that all on the other side. So start by drawing the left knee up, right leg extends. Maybe the hands come around the left ankle. Again, head can stay down. If you want a little bit more, you can start to lift through the back. Find your foot position of choice. Keep the back of the right thigh trying to press down towards the ground. I kind of like to cradle my foot or my leg here. One more breath. And just start to lower the head down towards the ground. Keep the left knee bent, right hand comes around the left thigh. Big breath in, extend the left hand to the side. Exhale, start to twist the left knee over towards the right. Can you keep the left shoulder pulling down? Maybe the left ear touches down as well, or in the direction of the mat. And then when you're ready, let's find our way back through center. Just making ourselves comfortable for Shavasana. Of course, if you would prefer to take a Shavasana in a seated position or another position that feels really good for you, please do so. Can we tuck the chin in ever so slightly? Relaxing the eyelids and the jaw. Letting breath flow in and out through the nose with ease. And if you quieten your mind enough, you might be able to feel into that movement of prana. Wherever you are, wherever your mind is, can you take a big breath in through the nose? Fill up even more, even more. Hold at the top. Exhale out of the mouth. In your own time, we'll start to move gently. And we'll find a way up into a seated position. Maybe hugging the knees in close. And just notice if you can lift up a little bit taller here compared to the beginning of our practice. Noticing if energy has been moved. Maybe a little smile on the face comes on. Maybe hands come to heart center. I thank you so much for practicing with me today. It's always such a pleasure. I thank you so much. From me to you, namaste. Thank you for sharing the gift of yoga. I hope to see you again soon.